Crime knows no frontiers. To combat the growing menace of the international criminal, the police forces of the world have opened up their own national boundaries. At their headquarters in Paris, scientifically equipped to match the speed of the jet age, 63 nations have linked together to form the International Criminal Police Organization, Interpol.
As soon as you reach North Africa, Professor, you'll be taken out to the garrison.
Good. You have been most helpful, Colonel.
Oh, I wish I were coming with you. I could do with some active service.
You're not seeing a soldier off, remember.
No, you're right. My brother officers will be intrigued to meet you. It isn't every day we have an archaeologist working inside a Legion fort.
I promise not to dig up the parade ground. The time I was aboard. Well, once again, many thanks, Colonel.
Goodbye, Professor.
Professor Bellard. Yes? Could you come this way a moment, sir? Some of your equipment seems to be missing.
Oh.
How to get rid of that.
Okay, Morel. I mean, Professor.
Professor Bellard, I'm afraid my men haven't been too careful.
Oh, don't apologize. I'm thrilled. These are important discoveries in their line.
Well, I'm glad you find them so interesting. The whole thing's beyond me, I'm afraid. In the meantime, I've got a small war on my hands.
Well, don't worry about me. I have plenty of work to do here.
You'll join us in the mess, Professor?
Thank you. I found myself a place in town. Archaeologists are somewhat untidy people.
Well, as you wish. Come to dinner tonight, anyway.
I shall be delighted.
Right.
Corporal,
Sir?
would you mind lending me a hand?
Sure.
What's your name?
Khan.
Khan. Alias Schultz, ex-racketeer, wanted for murder.
I was tipped off there'd be a visitor. I never guessed it was you, though. It's a cool one.
You've never worked for me before, have you?
No, but I know all about you.
Well, you're working for me now. Don't worry, it's highly profitable. When are you next off duty?
Tomorrow?
Good. You know the Cafe Karma in the Casbah?
I should do. It's run by Shana. She's a particular friend of mine.
Splendid.
Paul, here's news with a real punch.
Okay, start punching.
Jacques Morel was murdered.
Oh, the man we never caught up with.
Yes, he was found battered to death. The body was washed up in the sea near Marseille. Here's the file.
I know it backwards. It's got everything but a photograph.
Exactly. To Interpol, he's the man without a face.
No prison record. He's never been inside. Officially, we've never seen him.
And yet his name's cropped up in some of the worst rackets in North Africa, with a special emphasis on gun running and smuggling.
If it's true, it closes one of the hottest files in Interpol.
What do you mean if it's true?
Simply that I've got to make sure before I file my papers. I'm up to Marseille. What makes you think that's Morel?
Well, the papers we found on him, for one thing.
I don't dispute the papers.
And what then?
I dispute the body. I repeat. What makes you think that's Morel?
Well, same height, age, and the papers.
Told you, forget the papers. This is Marseille, one of the roughest waterfronts in Europe. It's your town. You ought to know it. A battered body goes into the water and surfaces with Morel's pocketbook.
Well, that makes it Morel, surely.
Certainly not. I can't close a file on a man without features. I want a face, and I haven't got one.
Are you saying this isn't Morel?
I'm only saying that a body without a face is no positive proof of identification in any part of the world.
I hear you're joining the club.
What are the activities?
You'll find out soon enough.
Where is he?
He's here. How about buying me a drink first?
Later. I must talk business.
All right. I'll take you.
Where does this route march lead to?
We'll come back to the cafe later.
You try and stop me.
Corporal Khan of the Foreign Legion.
What do you want?
What do you think I'm interested in?
Certainly not in ancient relics.
Something much more valuable.
Is Shana in on this?
Of course. Her husband died fighting for their cause.
Then what's the racket?
Rifles. Something your Legion trucks bring in every day from the docks.
Gun running? You'll never get away with it. Count me out. For $1 million.
When you say $1 million, Corporal, you're talking about mere petty cash.
Feed pipe trouble. You fix it. I'll stand guard.
That's better.
I'll dirty up.
So, they got away with over 1,000 rifles, and now you want Interpol to help you.
It's the biggest loss from one raid for a long time.
So I understand. Funny thing is, last week in Marseille, I saw the man who could have planned it.
You did?
Yes, but he was dead. Morel was an expert at the spectacular job. We never caught up with him, but this would have been his handwriting.
And the other 3 snatches this week.
Exactly. Everything points to a man who is thinking big. You're working closely with the Legion itself?
Sure, they've done their best. They've changed the movement schedules. But still, trucks are being waylaid and looted.
How far is the garrison?
About 30 kilometers.
Can I borrow a car?
Of course.
I had come to North Africa to help track down a gun runner. I started by visiting the Foreign Legion garrison itself.
No, sir. I didn't get a close look at them. It was all too fast.
You're sure they were rebels?
Yes, we heard them speaking before they knocked us out.
And the truck driven off?
Yes, sir. After the patrol picked us up, we followed their tracks. But they faded out on a stretch of dried-up salt pan.
All right, that's all. Dismiss. Now we're already being shot at with some of our own rifles.
Of course. That's what they were stolen for.
Go and fix the truck. Look out for Duval. Interpol. He's with Commandant.
He's chosen an awkward time to appear.
Everything fixed for tomorrow?
But of course, the consignment's been promised.
What about my alibi?
You won't be going back to the garrison once we get the truck.
What about Duval?
She must be taken care of. Leave that to me.
Hello, Professor. Professor Vallard from Paris. Inspector Duval, Interpol.
How do you do?
How do you do? On the trail of the gun runners, I suppose.
The professor's on the trail of Roman remains dug up here by the garrison.
Ah, you are a detective in your own field, then.
One could put it like that. Commandant, have you any transport going into town? My car is out of service.
Could I give you a lift?
Nothing I would like better.
You could tell me all about your finds. Archaeology is a bit of a hobby of mine. See you again.
Come in, Inspector. Thank you. Nice and quiet here after a day at the garrison.
I can see that. How long have you been in North Africa?
Just a few weeks, digging up good finds every day.
You have unearthed quite a collection.
Yes, and they all have to be classified before I return to Paris.
Oh, this is interesting. Could it be Sasanian? The Gabri type?
I wouldn't care to give a snap opinion, but as you say, it's quite interesting.
And this glaze, my. Would you say it's Raqqa type, 11th century?
Well, I wouldn't be positive as to the century.
I haven't seen any newspaper accounts of your work.
We don't like to talk about our finds until the facts have been confirmed.
You sound more and more like a detective, Professor. No, thanks. Perhaps you could help me.
In any way I can.
Where would you look for a gun runner?
I just wouldn't know, Inspector.
Of course not. I was just trying to get a lead somewhere.
Why not try the underworld? I'm told this town is seething with rebels. Their meeting place is an open secret.
Where?
The Café Karma, just a few doors away from here. A pretty rough place, I'm told, full of questionable characters.
My kind of people. Maybe I'll give them a call. Thanks, Professor. Coffee.
I repeat, you're lying.
No. You can see for yourself this is not one of my knives. Someone else threw it. I threw one of these.
You pretended to.
If you say it's Rabault's knife, where are his fingerprints?
Hold it by the tip of the blade, and as soon as it sinks into something, the prints are erased.
He knew that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, take them away. Both of them. We can't hold him. I'll swear he threw this knife, and she knows.
Wonder what else she knows. She's quite a looker. Is she one of your local suspects?
Yeah, we've never been able to pin anything on her.
What's in her file?
Oh, plenty. She owns the Café Karma. She's a widow of a man who was shot during a terrorist raid 6 months ago. You asked me about the professor.
Oh, yes. You checked on him?
Yes, before in Paris. The visit was genuine.
That doesn't mean that he's a genuine archaeologist. I gave him some double talk. He didn't contradict me.
That's curious.
He came in from Marseille. And that's just where Morel's body was fished out 3 days later. The two things tie up. They must.
You mean the professor may have been murdered?
Yes, and Morel is taking his place.
Nobody knows him, so he thinks he's safe.
Long enough to do a little gun running.
You could be right.
There is only one way to check. Get a picture of the professor, send it to Interpol to Paris. Let them check with his colleagues.
We'll be coming back through the Wadi at noon.
I shall be there.
Supervising the last job yourself, huh?
Ah, Commandant. I shall be away from the diggings for a couple of days.
Working at your bench, Professor?
No, I have received an invitation from an old colleague in Tunis. He wants me to look over a site there.
Well, I'll see that no one starts digging here while you're away.
Thanks.
Pull over to the Wadi.
But our orders were not to stop.
The orders have changed. Pull over.
Right on time.
Well, I won't need that anymore.
No, you won't.
Hello.
What? Oh, yes, a minute. Interpol for you.
Hello, Jean.
Ah, Paul. I rushed the picture through. It isn't Bella.
Then it must be Morel's.
I also checked on the Legionnaire in the photograph. Yes, I thought I knew the face. His name is Eric Schultz, ex-racketeer wanted for murder. Maybe Morel singled him out.
I bet he did. Thanks, Jean. Goodbye. Let's get to the garrison. Tunis?
That's where the professor said he was going.
If Khan's in charge of the truck, they must have laid another ambush. It may have taken place already. Come on.
This is the route the truck was ordered to take.
If an ambush was planned, Corporal Khan must have told them where to stage it.
Look. Turn round.
Corporal Khan. This must have been their last job. They killed their inside man.
Let's get back to the town. I have every road leading out of the country checked.
I must congratulate you on a most excellent farewell performance.
As you're satisfied with the consignment, perhaps we can get on with the payout. I'd like to leave North Africa tonight. Interpol are close behind me.
But of course.
Well, where's Khan? Well, where is he with the truck?
I'm afraid I have some bad news for you, Shana. One of his Legionnaire colleagues fought back and...
You mean he's dead?
I'm sorry to say he is.
You must forget him, Shana. He died for the cause.
Cause?
What else? And you must keep on working for it. Now, if you'll excuse us.
They haven't shown up. Vellard never went back to his house. My men drew a blank.
Did they check my favorite eating place, the Café Karma?
The second stop, nothing.
Mind if I take another look around the professor's place?
Go ahead, but be careful.
Right. Run out of coffee upstairs? You're well stuck tonight, thanks to Corporal Khan. By the way, the knife in his back was the same type as the one meant for me. Who threw it? Our friend Rabul upstairs?
A knife? What do you mean?
Are we going into that routine again? Why bother?
Exactly, Duval. Why bother?
You killed Khan.
Don't be a fool. Put down that rifle. Khan was shot, I tell you. You don't believe Duval's story, do you?
Duval must have gone to headquarters, hoping we had news. Come on.
I saw Khan's body. He was stabbed all right, in the back.
Thanks.
You know, Renoir, I think we dug up a valuable face for the Paris archives. The ones at Interpol.